All right, so now we've seen input. What if we want to format our output nicely? So right now we've just been getting our output by having MATLAB display the values of variables for us. But what if we wanted a nicely formatted output that would sort of explain to us what we were seeing? Luckily, there are functions that allow us to do that too, and we'll be using fprintf in class. So the function name is fprintf, and it's going to take some parameters or arguments to this function call, just like when we call any other function. We'll see a lot of examples, and we'll learn how to use this function in increasingly complex ways, but the general format is always going to be the same. We'll be able to type a string that says something like the area of your pie is, and then we'll be able to embed variables in our strings using something called a placeholder. And the placeholder that we use is going to depend on the type of the variable that we have. So here I said %f because the value I want to plug in is area pie. So what's going to happen is I'll print the area of your pie is, and then I'll see that I want to substitute a floating point number here. So after I finish my string, I'll provide a comma, and then I'll provide the list of variables to fill in everywhere I have a placeholder in my string. So here I'm saying fill area pie into the first floating point placeholder that you see, right? I could also add, and its circumference is, and then provide comma and another variable for the circumference of my pie. Right, so now what will happen is I'll print this string. Oh, I need a second placeholder here. Right? When I get to the first placeholder, I'll fill in the first variable, area pie, so whatever its value is. And then when I get to the second placeholder, I'll fill in the second variable, or the circumference of my pie. So now let's take a look at what happens when I run this function. So let's say I want to run it. I'm going to suppress the output of this function call with a semicolon so we can really appreciate having nice formatted output. So again, it's going to ask me for the circumference of my pie, or the radius of my pie, 2.5. And then look, it's going to output this nicely formatted string. So where instead of just kind of displaying things in the MATLAB default variable value format, I have a nicely formatted string that tells me exactly what I want to know. As we learn more about how to use fprintf, we'll learn how to format these numbers the way we might want them to be formatted if maybe we don't want as many places after the decimal. We'll learn how to embed different placeholders for different types of variables. And we'll learn a little bit more about how we can make sure our output looks exactly the way we want it.